Hi, my name is Fernando Rebozo with reallynicehomes.com Maxus Realty Group, and today we're going to be talking about tips to help sell a home. We're going to be talking about the appeal to a woman first. Did you know that women are the main decision makers when it comes to buying a home? I learned this many years ago when I was working with home builders, because they are continuously challenged to find new ways to appeal to buyers in order for them to sell their construction homes. And in a normal weekend, they may have even hundreds of people. They may come to a office trailer so they can show houses to these persons. And this salesperson working in this for new builders are well trained, and they have to do that. They have to be well trained to be able to sell homes for the builders. And the builders listen when when they do market researches for with analysts to see which person is the most influential when you're selling a home. And they all have this feeling that women tend to have the strongest influence in the home buying decision. So when salesperson at the new construction sites are talking to people, most of the conversation is going to be directed to women, because it is usually a woman that makes the final decision to buy or not to buy a home. And for that reason, if you're selling a home, whether you're selling this for a client or you're selling this home for yourself, you must understand this concept that women are main decision makers when it comes to buying a home. And some of the reasons they are is because they talk to family and friends first. Women like to share their feelings a lot more than men do. They want to have an overall feeling of the property that they're looking, of your house. They're trying to find a feeling about the property. And that feeling has to be positive in order for them to consider buying the home. And as a seller, you have to make sure that this feeling that is emanating from your property, it is a positive feeling for buyers. We need to find out what is unusual about your property. That usually is a good selling point. If there is something unusual, women like to talk about that, because they're talking to their family and friends and they want to talk about things that they found unusual, something that they may like, something they may picture themselves using, whether it's going to be a different type of room, different type of unusual plan, floor plan on the house, windows, different type of windows, or may have a fireplace, two fireplaces, whatever the house offers that is unusual, that is not usually found in other houses, is a really good thing for them to be able to see themselves using those things in the house. And also the reason why people are selling. Normally, we don't like to advise our sellers to tell the reason why they're selling, because that is going to factor, in the negotiating of the price at after we get a contract ratified. We don't like to convey that reason to them, because they may use that against us, because they may know that they have to sell this property for a reason that they don't have no control of. And that's the reason why a buyer may want to take advantage of that fact and be able to maybe even trying to get the property for a lot less money. But in the case of women, when I found out over the years is that if you give them the reason in a personal basis, whether they say that the reason that needs to be conveyed has to be with a feeling, not necessarily something like a fact, stating a fact and that is it. It has to be a feeling of the reason, like saying, we hate to move from this neighborhood. I'm really very unhappy. My kids are unhappy to move from this school, but we've been transferred. We have to go to another state, And by actually sharing the reason why you may be selling, when it's associated with an emotional feeling, it is really a good thing when you are working with women, that they may have a big influence if they're going to purchase your home or not. Another reason why women are the main decision makers when it comes to buying a home is that they ask lots of questions, and they want clear answers to make an easy decision for them. It's very important they have a very clear answer and not something that will be in a gray area. Because if they have any unanswered questions, then I can assure you that may be the reason why your house or the house you're trying to sell may not sell. Some women are really afraid to look dumb when it comes to asking questions. So as a seller or as a person helping a seller to sell a home, you have to actually think about what will be the things that people will be asking about the house that is not a normal thing. And you may be able to write a fact sheet about the house and actually put this information on this so when a buyer comes to the house, they can actually see, and they may be able to read some of these things that they were afraid to ask about it because they don't want to hear, they don't want to appear to be dumb, and obviously that is not really what is happening, but the perception is that they're afraid to ask. And if you don't have an unanswered question, and for women to make a decision, then that will be a hard thing to sell. So you have to answer all their questions. When it comes down to selling properties, I know most women and men in general also, they all can prepare and knowledgeable about the areas where they're looking for a home, and that's the reason why they are in the house to begin with. But they think a lot about safety, especially women, because buying a home in a low crime area is a priority for them. Because and I don't think you should assume that they already know this to begin with. You may have to answer some questions that they may have on this, and making sure you assure them that the place where you're selling, it is a safe neighborhood that will create more trust on the property for them. And obviously, you have to say the truth, and you have to state the facts on the neighborhood. If your neighborhood is not a low crime area, on the contrary, it is a high crime area, more likely the buyers are already going to know this, but it's still want to make sure you amplify the point about the security of the home in that case, whether they have alarms or they may even have different type of locks, a lot of lights outside, fans. You want to amplify those points because you know that they already know that the location of your property may not be a low crime area, and that's the reason you want to reassure them about the safety of the house. So how to appeal to women, in order for them to really love your house so they can purchase it. Women want help with organization, and you have to look at it. As men, sometimes we kind of tend to overlook this. Organization is very important for them because they want plenty of storage areas in the house. The laundry room is especially a very important thing for women, to have big enough to keep dirty laundry out of the way. And cleanliness is really very important for women because when they come into the house to look at the property they consider buying, the first thing that they're going to be seeing is how clean is the kitchen and how clean are the bathrooms. Because that's where they're picturing their family to be using as soon as they move into the house. And if you have a dirty kitchen or if you have dirty bathrooms or they have the appearance of being dirty, I can assure you women are not going to like your property, and it's going to be hard thing to sell, especially when it comes down to a couple where they're making a decision to buy a home. You need to spend money on the kitchen and the bathrooms to making sure that these places are as clean as possible. Not necessarily having to change cabinets, not necessarily having to change all types of counters because they may be cracked or they may be, what I'm talking about is not really that, because they can associate that the place is a used home and they expect something to be broke or something that needs to be replaced. They expect that in a way, but they do not expect to see it dirty. And that is really a key thing to making sure that everything is a spick and span. I know if you're like me, you watch shows like House Hunters, but don't believe that buyers spend about 20 minutes in a house before writing that huge check. And women in general, they take it slow. Don't put pressure on them. They want to see many different kinds of homes before making this huge life-changing decision. There is no reason to put the pressure on them, because I think that eventually, if the women see this house in a way that the house is speaking to them, and they start feeling the house that kind of belonging to them, I can assure you they're going to go and see 3, 4, 5 different houses, and they will come back to you. Just make sure that the experience is fun experience, very laid back, answer all the questions, and making sure that you are available for any questions they may have. I did a research before doing this piece, and I found out that women account for 85% of all consumer purchases, including everything from autos to healthcare. But when it comes to houses in new homes, they account for 91%. And 91%, this is according to the sheeconomy.com. And I can assure you that this is an actual fact when it comes down to home buyers, because I've been selling homes for many years, and I can assure you women's opinions count when it comes to buying a home. My name is Fernando Herboso. I am a broker, listing specialist for Maryland, DC, and Virginia. My phone number is 301-246-0001. My website is reallynicehomes.com. If you're looking to sell your property, please give me a call. I can assure you I want to help you sell it, and I will help you sell it for the most possible money that we can. Thank you and have a great day.